Canada's about diversity, multiculturalism, mingling. Like your neighbor could be from a totally different cultural background, totally different religious background, and you have access to the entire world of information in one little community.
Canada's got the Great White North, First Nations culture, and a fantastic history.
Canadians are most proud of probably our heritage in general.
Ice hockey, of course.
We're a very, very friendly nation. Everyone comes together.
Poutine.
Hockey.
Fries, gravy, and cheese.
We love our outdoors and our adventure too.
Hockey and beer. It doesn't matter what background you're from, what religion you're from, what country you're from. You have equal rights, and everyone has a shot at like the great life.
Both sides of my family are Christian, so I did a couple of Sunday schools when I was little in that, but other than that, it hasn't been too big on religion.
I went to church all my life. I'm a Christian. I love Jesus.
There's something else. There is something else, but I don't know what it is yet.
What's the most plausible explanation that you've been able to come up with in your own mind?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
So Brett, when you came to Toronto here in the sanctuary, what was that like for you, being part of a network like Toronto Church Planting, for you and your family?
Yeah, it was very, it was right where God had us. We needed to be a part of a team. We didn't want to come and be alone. And so part of the beauty of the Sanctuary Network, Toronto Church Planting, is the idea that we're a team, that we're togetherness. And I love being a part now of able to help with new planters that are raised up indigenously, or new planters that move in, that we are, boy, it's my first thing is I want you to know we're here as a team and you're not by yourself. And then as the years go by, to continue that journey of going, this is a togetherness thing. It's not a separate thing, even though we have different fields that we're working in around the city.
Toronto used to be called the City of Churches, actually, and or Toronto the Good, but there's lots and lots of old churches down here. So the problem is they're all dying. When people think of Toronto, we think about CN Towers, we think about hockey, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto is more than that. It is way more than that. Toronto is, when compared to our American friends south of the border, it's like New York meets Los Angeles together. It's uniquely positioned in southern Ontario, population of over 11 million people, but the greater Toronto area is 6.5 million people. Toronto is the center for business. Toronto is the center for the arts. Toronto is the center for media. We have so many people here that really have no clue. They've never had the opportunity to truly hear who Jesus is. We need planters here in the city, to be downtown in the core, to be in the suburbs, all around Toronto here. We need planters that have a heart for the lost.
The need here in Toronto for guys who love Jesus, guys who love their families, the need for guys who are adamant about the exclusivity of the gospel and what the gospel can do to communities once it really takes root and transform. The need for those kinds of people are huge here in Toronto. Like, Toronto just doesn't need the smartest guys. Toronto doesn't need the most talented guys. Toronto needs the guys that have been truly transformed by Jesus and his message. And when they come together, God can really do some things in a city like this.
Let me ask you a question. What is God calling you to do today? What is he asking you to do to step out in faith on and say, God, if you're calling me to this task, I'm going to obey, and I'm going to depend on you to provide and do great things through. Jesus Christ will use you to do phenomenal things to advance his kingdom if we just put our yes on the table. Are you willing?
And as you think and pray about coming to Toronto here to start a work, or Toronto beyond, in the suburbs that are around Toronto, because Toronto is a city amongst cities. It just keeps on going. And so downtown core may not be your area. Suburbs may be your area. Inner city, difficult areas may be your area. We're not model or method driven. It's going to take all different kinds of churches to see people hear and see the good news of Jesus Christ. So I would encourage you, pray boldly. Ask God, where is it you are asking me to go? And may I know where that is. And if Toronto's part of that, I'd love to have a conversation with you and help you explore that. You know, when we got into this, we said, buckle up, baby, because here we'll see what happens. But if we say to church planners, as they think about this, and God's calling this, it's going to be the time of their life. It's going to be like the roller coaster. Like, they're going to have so much fun, and they're going to be so challenged. They're going to go, wow, God, I never would have thought, but you did it. You did it.